everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Jessica and this is the Fields Full House. If y'all are new here, hello and welcome. I am so excited to have you. Today's video is actually a part of a collaboration with Colleen over at Our Blessed Life. If you have not checked out her channel already, I will have all her information in the description box below, as well as the playlist. Her channel is just so encouraging and I love it, and I have just fallen in love with her family. So be sure to check her out. So today, some of us homeschool moms are teaming up and we are sharing with you the one thing that has transformed our homeschool. I am actually honestly really excited to listen to everybody's videos on what has transformed their homeschool. A lot of testimonies will probably be shared and encouragement and things that they have overcome, and I just think it will just be very encouraging to all of us homeschooling moms. One of the beautiful things about homeschooling is that we can cater it to fit our family and our lifestyle and our seasons of life as well. So I know that there will be a lot of different things shared in this, and that's kind of why I'm excited to hear about it, because I know that some moms who have high school students are going to have a little bit different something to share to moms who only have, you know, smaller elementary age children. So I think it'll just be really awesome. So I'm going to share with y'all the one thing that has transformed our homeschool. I really thought long and hard on this because I really wanted something like kind of profound, and I was like, well, I really don't know. And then I was really starting to pray and search and think. And the one thing that I would have to reflect back on that has transformed our homeschool is confidence. Confidence in who God has called me to be as a homeschool mom to our children, and the fact that God has called me to homeschool our children. In the beginning, when you're homeschooling, I've been homeschooling from the very beginning. This would be our 9th year, I believe, if my math serves me correctly. Taylor is in the 8th grade, and I started in preschool. So yeah, 9 years. Anyways, when you're first starting out, people start kind of second guessing you and asking all these questions, and therefore you start second guessing yourself. And is this really the right thing? Well, are you going to homeschool through high school? Dude, I don't know. I'm doing pre-K and kindergarten right now. You know, everybody has different feelings regarding homeschooling, especially people who don't get it. Anyways, and it's easy to let those doubts and those naysayers and people who don't necessarily agree with homeschooling or even understand it come in and allow that negativity to play in the back of our mind, even if we don't necessarily realize it. And then as soon as we hit our first brick wall, as I call it, our first real struggle in homeschool, say our child is really struggling to read. Is it my fault? Is it the way that I'm teaching them? Am I not doing enough? Is it the curriculum that we're doing? I feel like it's not just me as an individual. I think a lot of moms just in general, not necessarily just homeschool related, we second guess our nature and the things that we are feeling called to do, or what if we make a mistake or we mess up, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So the truth is, mistakes will be made. Messes will happen. That's life. It's inevitable. I may choose the wrong route for one of my children. Would that be terrible? Yes, it will be. But if I am following God's will for what He has for our family, for me as a mother and leading our family, that is what matters. And that's where the confidence comes in, and building myself up in that and knowing that that is what God has called me to do. All the rest is going to fall into place, even if it's, you know, a huge mistake or whatever. God is going to take that mistake and turn it into something amazing, because that's what He says in His Word. So reminding ourselves that, or reminding myself that, really helps. There's been a shift in my mindset in the last maybe 3 or 4 years. I don't really like to give, I don't mind giving homeschooling advice, but I am not a curriculum guru. I am not a former public school teacher or former teacher to where I kind of have all this knowledge behind it. I am a mom who is homeschooling my children. So I don't feel like I necessarily have words of wisdom or experience to share with a lot of people. All I can really share is what I have been through. And now naturally in my first year of homeschooling, I'm not going to have a whole lot of advice to give. But as you know, obviously I've been doing this for many years now. Like I said, 3 or 4 years ago, there's kind of been a shift in my mindset. And I've noticed it within myself in different areas in my inner circle. I have become very confident in what I feel is best, again, for my family. But I can share that, and that's always how I share that is, well, this is what has worked for us. Or the things that I don't think that would necessarily work well because of whatever reason. But there's just been a confidence within myself that this is what God has called me to do. In reminding ourselves that, and reminding myself that, because I still need the reminder, is very important. And like I said, it's been about 3 to 4 years that I've noticed I've had a real confidence shift in my walk as a homeschool mom. I am very confident now in what I am doing, the approach that I'm taking, of what works for my family. Now, granted, all I can share is, sorry, I hit the table, what has worked for us. I think I used to be very intimidated by homeschool moms who were like curriculum gurus and like got it all and understood it all. And I was just still kind of like, I need the box curriculum and open and go. And not that there's anything the matter with that. I mean, I still use pretty much an open book curriculum that requires very little planning because that's what works for me. And there's nothing the matter with that. There's nothing the matter with that. But also, I have a lot of friends who are former teachers. And so they know how to sit down and teach a child, you know, because they went to school for this. So me just being a mom who is homeschooling their children, it was very intimidating to me for a while. I was worried about messing up. I was worried about, you know, choosing the wrong curriculum or choosing the wrong path. But in the last several years, I have just really gained a lot of confidence in the Lord that I am doing what's right. I am doing what's best for my family, and it's going to look different from other people. And that's the whole point too, because no family is identical. But just knowing that and resting in that perfect peace of the Lord, there is no better place to be. I think one of the most intimidating things in homeschooling is the fear of messing up or making a mistake or whatever as the teacher, as the homeschool mom. But after going through, we had a child who really struggled to read. And I really thought that we would never overcome that hurdle. And I was honestly very embarrassed if someone found out that they couldn't read by the age that they were at. But in the end, it's all okay. We were working on it. They were making progress, and that's what matters the most, is that, you know, someone is gaining progress. And if it takes them a little bit longer to read or a little bit longer to master their, you know, multiplication tables or whatever, that is okay, because they are able to sit down and have the one-on-one attention to where, let's say if they were in school, those problems could have been a whole lot more work or a whole lot worse if they went unnoticed or unrecognized because of the classroom size. You know, it would be easy, you know, for a child to get lost in that. Sorry, I had a kid come in. It's like once that kid, you know, gets, like the light bulb goes off, they end up soaring and can skip over a level or two. We actually had that happen. It was so encouraging to me because I had heard that from so many other homeschool moms. Don't worry, like once they get it, they could probably skip a level or two. And I was just like, I just don't see it happening. Well, it happened, y'all. And it was amazing, and we celebrated their victory, and we were able, you know, to do that together. It's one of the many things that I love about homeschooling, is that we are doing this together, like me with the children, obviously. Anyways, so we're kind of in the same spot with another child who's having a little bit harder time picking up reading, and I keep telling myself that once they get it, it'll be like that, and then they will soar, and it will be amazing. So if you're finding yourself in those spots, just know that you are, as long as you are sitting down and working with them every day and they are making progress, even if it's a little tiny bit, that is okay. What is important is that they are gaining confidence in themselves as well, and not being, I think there's so much bullying now in school. You know, just the stories that I hear just breaks my heart. And once they're labeled a certain way, it's very hard for a kid to overcome that. So having them at home and being able to provide this for them, I just think is just amazing. So anyways, just be encouraged and try to find that confidence in the Lord. If you know that God has called you to homeschool, be confident in it. Be bold in it. That is what God has called us to do, is to be bold in the ways of Him. And if this is the way that the Lord is leading you, then own it. Don't let naysayers say anything to you. Don't let negative comments or even, just other things get you down, because that is not what God wants for you. So anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed my thoughts. I feel like mine might be a little bit more abstract than others, but that's really where I felt like God was leading me whenever I was praying about what to share. So anyways, I hope that it blessed you, and be sure to check out that playlist and the other channels involved. And I look forward to talking to you in the comments. Thanks.